Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to you. Welcome to remote STEM class. Mr. Dowd here. Um, so last week I finished doing. I did Arcadia, I did Arches, I did Badlands, I did Big Bend and Black Canyon. Now I'm on to Bryce Canyon National Park, and just based on that picture, that's got beautiful sunset. And as we all know, I do love my sunsets. So this one's in Utah, one of the cooler states. Uh, There's obviously this was taken during the wintertime, or maybe not, because it's such high elevation, I think, that, or as such high mountains, that there's a lot of beautiful snow paths like this. So we got an overlook with sweeping canyon views and a russet rock formation called hoodoos. So I believe these pointed rock formations, like these, are called hoodoos, popular at sunrise and sunset. I love to ski. I personally never skied in Utah, but it's on my bucket list. This guy looks a little cold. What do you think? I have that exact hat though. Fun fact. And our next place is the Natural Bridge. So this is kind of related to the way Arches National Park is. I don't believe this picture was taken in the winter based on everyone's in shorts and a t-shirt. But anyways, so it is a massive 85-foot arch carved out of sedimentary rock, red rock, by geological forces over millions of years. All right, so remember, there's all different kinds of rocks, and there's all different kinds, but then they break down into a bunch of main categories, which include sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. There's one other one. There's a fourth one that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I haven't taken a geology class in years. But anyways, so that's a nice arch. So very similar to Arches National Park. And I forget who was talking to me last week about it, but he was asking if 10 elephants could fit on the on the arch and would it break? And I said probably. Next, we go to Agua Canyon. So a lot of canyons with more hoodoos. So viewpoint filled with distinctive hoodoos. Like this one is pretty large. Plus scenic views of the grand staircase. So I guess from a different angle, that kind of looks like a staircase. Yep. So that's like this picture. So it kind of looks like a staircase to a degree, a natural staircase. It's pretty cool stuff. This picture looks like it's somewhat in the winter based on where the sun hits. Some guy taking a nice picture. Go on to the next place. We have Black Birch Canyon. So red roadside pullout along Bryce Canyon rim, offering scenic views south to Rainbow Point. All right, so there's no in-depth picture here. It's just this is just that location. So if I had to spin around, so I guess the view is like this. So just overlooking that beautiful landscape. So this is all, I guess, considered a canyon again. Next, we got Rainbow Point. So national park peaks with red pink cliffs plus rock formations, forests, and hiking. So a little bit of everything for everyone. So there's some hiking. There's a lot of people. This guy doesn't look too happy about being here. He looks kind of mad. But he's got his hiking poles. But look at that view. It's crazy to think about how big the country of America is and how different the climates are. Like this obviously is not New England, right? This isn't Lawrence, Massachusetts. But again, I wouldn't think it's Utah either, but I guess they're all close. This guy's got a selfie stick. Next place, on to Bryce Point. So another overlooking vista. So overlooking Bryce Canyon Amphitheater is a popular spot to watch the sunrise. All right. So as you saw, we kind of flew in here. This is a point. So that's the end of the point over there. And back this way, it's like, let's see, can I float out from here? I think I can. No, let me float out. But it's a stick out. So there's cliff face on this side and on this side. It's all cliff face. And that's back to the mainland. And this side is the end of the vista. Cool. So you can see the sunrise in the west and sunrise in the east, sunset in the west. Next place is Inspiration Point. So maybe you guys can have some inspiration to want to do our work. But this is just an overview of what we just showed, Bryce Point. So yeah, so that's where I was showing where all those people were. And it's just a cliff face with nothing on either side. Kind of just sticks out there. Let's go back over to Inspiration Point. So again, it's a scenic vista atop steep cliffs offering unobstructed views of Bryce's main amphitheater. So what an amphitheater is a as a semicircle, so that way the acoustics, obviously this isn't used as a amphitheater, but theoretically the way sound waves work in an amphitheater is it makes so they can project off the walls and bounce around to everyone. Fun fact for the day. And on to our last place, which is the National Park. Woo! And you guys don't care about the National Park, although there's plenty of stuff you can learn in the National Park when you're there. Okay, guys, hope everyone enjoyed this on their Monday, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey Gators, today I'm going to make sloppy joes, and I'm going to start with putting in potatoes in the oven to make them kind of like really thin french fries to go with the sloppy joes. So I have these tiny potatoes I'm going to cut really thin. Again, you could use a mandolin for this. I don't have a good one though. Try not to cut yourself. So potatoes take a long time to cook, so these are going to cook in the oven for about 20 minutes at 400 degrees while I make the sloppy joe mix on the stove. Now I'm going to mix the potatoes with some oil and some salt and pepper. Some oil in here. You could also do these in the air fryer if you wanted. See, they look like that. some salt and pepper on them. These are gonna go in the oven. Then I'm gonna start on the sloppy Joe mix. So I will be back. Okay, so this is the filling for sloppy joes, and this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. Okay. You don't have to put the pickle on it if you don't like it. So right now I have hamburger and onions. And I cook this until brown. Okay, I'm gonna check on the potatoes. Cooking good. Okay, so now in here is barbecue sauce, ketchup, cornstarch, and I'm going to mix this in with the hamburger. So this is what's going to go inside the burger, or the bun. So it looks like hamburger, but it's actually sloppy Joe mix. And you can buy this in the store, Market Basket, the manwich. It's in a can, and make it that way too. But basically all it is hamburger, ketchup, barbecue sauce, onions, and some seasoning. Alright, so I'm going to, this is good, it's cooked. Now I'm going to toast the rolls, and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so that's the sloppy Joe mix. Let's see what the potatoes look like. Perfect, just like fried. Put some salt and pepper on. Now, the one thing about serving this is you do not want to do it unless you're going to eat it right away, which I'm not serving this right away, so I'm not going to put it together. So normally I would take these rolls, they're like, what kind of rolls? They are potato rolls. And I would unwrap them and I would toast them, and then I would put the filling inside. So it would look like this, okay? But nobody's here now to eat them. So I'm just gonna cover them up, and when they get home, I will heat them up and put them all together. All right, see you guys later.
Hey Gators, welcome to a new week of Language and Play. Hope everybody had a nice weekend, refreshed and recharged. All right, we're going to do one of the harder vocal warm-ups. You might need to look at your vocal warm-up sheet in your Google Drive for this one. We are going to do Trinidad. Okay, here we go. Ready? Trinidad, and the big Mississippi, and the town Honolulu, and the Lake Titicaca. The Popocatépetl is not in Canada, rather in Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. Canada, Malaga, Remisi, Brindisi. Canada, Malaga, Remisi, Brindisi. Canada, Malaga, Remisi, Brindisi. Canada, Malaga, Remisi, Brindisi. Yes, Tibet, Tibet, Tibet. Nagasaki, Yokohama, Nagasaki, Yokohama, Tibet, Tibet, Tibet. All right, I'm going to let you try that on your own a couple more times. See how you do and warm up. So, for this week's assignment, I was inspired by what we did last week with the irritated tooth fairy. So, what I'm really looking for this week is for you to come up with a mythological character from a fairy tale. So, or not necessarily a fairy tale, I'm sorry, I meant holiday. So, we could have a leprechaun from St. Patrick's Day. We could have the Tooth Fairy. We could have Cupid from Valentine's Day. We could have Santa Claus. We could have the Mensch on a bench. We could have the Elf on a shelf. You can have any of those. Or you can make one up. If you want to have a mythological character that represents Mondays, fine. Okay? Maybe you make up Manic Monday, right? And the character's name is Manic. That's okay. But what you need to do is come up with a character that is based on a day or a holiday, kind of like the irritated tooth fairy, right? When somebody loses a tooth, the tooth fairy shows up, right? So it could be a day or an event. That's the word I was looking for, event. So it could be a day or an event. And what I want you to do is I want you to develop a character. So you'll see attached in the Google Drive is another character profile. You guys should be experts at making these by now. All right, but you are going to come up with your own character for a day, holiday, or event. All right, and that's what we're going to be working on this week. We're going to come up with that character, and then you are going to write your own monologue in the style of the irritated tooth fairy. All right, and we're also going to play around with genre. You're going to get to choose what genre you want. All right, can't wait to see what you come up with, Gators. Great job.
Hi guys, today we're going to finish talking about Mary Cassatt. She was an impressionist painter, and one of the themes of her paintings that you would often see would be pictures or images of mothers with their children. And she would draw other portraits and landscapes, but this would be something that you would often see in her paintings. So today we're going to be adding some color. And we're going to be adding color in the style or way that an impressionist artist would do. So impressionist artists usually painted, but we're going to use colored pencils because I think more of us have colored pencils than we have paints. So you want to think about the lighting, because lighting was important in the impressionist paintings. So if we decide that our light source is coming from the right, let's say, maybe I do like some yellows. And I'm going to try to make it look sort of like those thick brush strokes that you would see in the paintings of the Impressionist artists. So I'm really just thinking about creating an impression of what is seen. And just adding some marks as if I was painting like an Impressionist painter, because you would see those brush strokes if it was a painting. Because we're using a different medium, we're just going to pretend like we're giving it that brushstroke look. So I'm just making marks instead of coloring in the whole entire thing. I'm actually just making little marks. So if you look up close, so if we zoom in and look up close to see what I'm doing, you'll notice that there are I'm making little marks. But when you bring the image farther away, it kind of comes together as it looks like solid color. But I'm really just doing these marks with my pencil. So you can kind of have fun with it. So hopefully you guys already drew an image of a figure of some kind, or maybe you wanted to also try to do a mother with their child, like Mary Cassatt. It was up to you what kind of figure you wanted to make. But keep in mind that lighting is important in the Impressionist painting style. And creating super realistic images was not quite as important. So again, I'm just making all these little marks. Instead of coloring the whole thing in solid areas, I'm just making lots of little marks. Kind of like the Impressionist painters would do. All right? So that's all you need to do. You can use a crayon. If you have paint, you can just do the same thing, but just make a lot of little marks with your paintbrush. So I think you get the idea. Think about the lighting, think about the light source. So I'm not really doing any light, that yellowy color. I'm not going to do that back here. I'm trying to create the look of some lighting coming from the right side, but I don't really want to show any light coming from this back side over here on the left. Have fun with it, guys. Just make a bunch of little marks everywhere. But you want to make it look like there's a light source. The light is hitting your figures from either like above or like at the side. You decide. All right, guys, I'm going to keep going with mine. You can go ahead and start your coloring process. All right, guys? I hope you enjoyed learning about Mary Cassatt. Bye.
What's up, guys? So today we're going to do a band workout and we're going to do an upper body circuit, which means we're going to train our entire upper body. Our pecs, our bis, our tris, our delts, and our lats. Okay? Let me show you the exercises. Do 8 to 10 reps per exercise. If you get tired, do less, do 4, 5, or 6. I'll show you first, give you a minute, and then we'll get going. First, you take your band, and you're going to step on it. Okay? So we're going to start off with our pecs, our chest. You're going to open up your palms and bring your arms forward and just squeeze that chest muscle. Okay? After that, we're just going to bend at our knees. We're going to pull our elbows in for our lats, for our back muscles. After that, we'll do our regular bicep curls, elbows tight to the body, curling up. Okay? Then we go to our shoulders, our delts. Cross your band. Okay? So your band is crossed, and you're just doing a fly. Okay? Then we end with the triceps, which to the side, elbows in, and you're just kicking back your lower arm, part of your arm. Okay? Take a minute, get ready, and we'll get going as soon as you guys come back.
Thanks for watching Enrichment TV, Gators. Remember, work hard, be nice, and we'll see you tomorrow.